Welcome to Journey to Joy Live, a podcast to promote wellness, resilience, and inspire joy. Be empowered to balance your mental, physical, financial, aspirational, and social health while providing mental health awareness and breaking down the stigma of mental illness in the Black community. I'm your host, Dr. If Joy, and I'm here to help you transform life's challenges into opportunities for joy. Let's begin the journey together. Hello, welcome to episode 118, Attention Hijacked, ADHD, Women, and Social Media Stress. Because it is October now. Not only is October important because it is my birthday month, yes, that is the most important part of October, but is it important because it is ADHD Awareness Month. So we are talking ADHD today. I've definitely spoken about ADHD many times. Episode 8, Got ADHD? Spoke a lot about ADHD, treatment, how to find it, the signs, kids, adults, all kinds of things. That was back October 2023 during ADHD Awareness Month, as well as episode 27, January 2024, with Mike Davenport, Black Parents with ADHD, because I have ADHD, he has ADHD, and we were talking Black parents with ADHD. And then episode 42, I spoke about ADHD and lying. There's definitely a close connection between ADHD and lying because there's impulsivity in both ADHD and lying. That was April 2024. And then most recently, episode 97, Mom Brain or ADHD, with Dr. Shauna Pollard and my BFF, Jessica B. Taylor. That was back in May of this year. And sometimes mom brain and ADHD brain can overlap. But today we're talking about ADHD, women, and social media stress. Because when you put social media into that, it just makes things worse. It makes ADHD worse. And a lot of people are just like, well, where did ADHD come from? Is it a myth? Is it real? Yes, it is a real diagnosis in the DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Health Disorders. Yes, it is real. And most people say ADD. We don't really say ADD anymore. That takes out the H. The H is hyperactivity. Really, we just say ADHD no matter what. Most adults don't have the hyperactivity. Usually the hyperactivity are in kids, but we just say ADHD. Anyhow, ADHD, attention deficit type, ADHD, hyperactive type, or ADHD combined type, because you have both the hyperactivity and the inattentiveness. For me, I have a little bit of both. I've always had the inattentive part, but I know if I'm in like these long, boring meetings, I can't sit still. I have to like stand up and walk around, but I mean, that's probably most of us anyhow. So it's probably more so the inattentiveness. And that's the thing with women and girls is that it's not recognized because it's a quiet, inattentive type as opposed to hyperactive, loud, can't sit still. So for the most part, when you see it in girls, you kind of miss it. It goes unseen. But when you're looking at children, ages 3 to 17, 11% have ADHD, and that's a lot. And adults, there's about 2.5% of adults have ADHD, but that's about 15 million adults. That's a lot of people. So 2.5% sounds small, but actually affects about 15 million adults. So it's definitely there, and it's definitely happening for sure. And you mostly see it in boys. 2/3 of boys or 2/3 of kids have it that are boys. 2/3 of kids are boys. There we go. Let's say that right. But that's why I'm talking women, because it may end up being unseen because it's more so the quiet, internalized type. And you might equate it to stress or anxiety, or there might be stress and anxiety on top of it, and it makes it worse. For me, I was kind of like the daydreamer type, didn't notice that it was an inattentiveness, and it came out because of stress. So in undergrad, which was stressful and everything gets harder, the ADHD came out. In med school, it came out more. And in residency, it came out even more because when you're sleeping less and you have a stressful job, ADHD more so comes out. So that is why when you are evaluated for it, we have to figure out, is it stress? Is it anxiety? Is it ADHD? I mean, clearly, if the anxiety is bringing it out, how about we treat the anxiety? Because maybe treating the anxiety will put the ADHD back in there. But sometimes we do need to treat the ADHD. I have a lovely story of my ADHD. It's just kind of embarrassing, but it's my story. So, Stone Mountain Park, that is in Stone Mountain area in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta. And when you go to that park, you buy a parking ticket. You either buy the daily parking ticket, pay $20, or you can pay $40 and buy the annual ticket. So naturally, you're just like, well, you're going to go to Stone Mountain more than once. You might as well pay $40 for a parking ticket rather than pay $20 and you end up coming back a second time. Then you're not going to get your money's worth. Definitely going to get your money's worth if you go more than once. So I don't even remember when this was. It's the ADHD, right? So a couple of years ago, maybe 18 months ago, I don't know, I buy this ticket, this parking pass, and a week later, I'm just like, "Where's this parking pass? Where is it?" It may have been a few weeks later, but I'm at the park again. I'm like, "Where's my parking pass?" I've never put the decal on the windshield. So I'm just like, "Oh my goodness, now I have to buy another parking pass." I already paid $40 for the annual parking pass, but then now I'm back again to utilize my annual parking pass, but I lost the parking pass, so now I have to buy another parking pass. So I have to make the decision, am I gonna buy the $20 daily one because I might find the $40 one, or should I pay for another $40 one? Well, I paid for the other $40 one. And I said, "Okay, I'm definitely gonna make sure I put this decal on my windshield." I lost it again. How do you lose it again when all you have to do is put it on the decal? I remember another time coming in a rental car, so that's the reason why I didn't put the decal on my windshield, because I was in a rental car, so I had to hold on to it, and I put it in a special spot in my purse and couldn't find it. Why wasn't it in this special spot in my purse anymore? And there's, like, this literal mental block that happens where I'm just, like, trying to remember, "Where did I leave this parking pass?" And I get this defeat and this anxiety over, like, "This is my ADHD. How do I just let this keep happening?" And it's small. It's a small thing, but it's still like, "The ADHD is doing this." And I'm spending more and more money trying to buy this parking pass when all I have to do is hold on to this parking pass. I ended up finding the parking pass. I don't even know where it was. I ended up finding it. I was happy about it because then I didn't have to buy it a third time. So then I'm like, "Okay, let me put it over here so that I can remember where it's at." My husband's like, "Nina, what are you doing? Put it on the car so you won't lose it again." I'm like, "No, I'm just gonna put it over here behind the cookbook, and then I put it in the car later. The car's right there. I don't know why I didn't put it in the car." So I still didn't put it in the car. So today, I'm driving, and I'm like, "Oh my god, where's the parking pass?" Granted, I'm not even trying to go to Stone Mountain today. I just was thinking about it. Probably because I was thinking about this episode, and I know that that's an example of my ADHD is this stupid parking pass. But I'm just like, "Where's the parking pass? I sure hope it's behind the cookbook. I sure hope it didn't get moved." And I'm just like, "Wait, did I move it? Did I leave it there?" So there's that forgetfulness of ADHD too. So I go home. Oh, luckily it's behind the cookbook. It was there. I put it on the windshield right away. Yeah, so that's a great example of adult ADHD, forgetfulness, disorganization, not doing things right away, or just not remembering where you put it and losing things. Losing things. At the end of the day, it's not the most important thing, but if I keep spending $40 every time I go, losing money, but ADHD in adulthood shows up in our relationships because of impulsivity, because of losing things, or because of disorganization. So it could ruin relationships. It also shows up in your financial stress too. So not paying bills and things like that. I've mentioned all the time, or quite a few times, that financial stress, the financial health piece of the 5 crucial health areas has been a weakness of mine. And so therefore, I know that my ADHD gets in the way of paying bills and things like that. But it's a matter of recognizing that you have it and being able to get on top of it. So let's learn some strategies for your ADHD, and therefore maybe you can get on top of it. But as we're trying to figure out how it shows up in women, right? We know that we're not the hyperactive little boys, we're the inattentive women. It shows up as chronic disorganization, just chronically being disorganized. And when you know you're chronically disorganized, let's get organized in some ways. I mean, when it comes to treatment and you're thinking about a medication, medications can only help you so much. It meets you halfway. And I tell my patients this all the time that you still have to implement therapeutic strategies, behavior modifications, and accommodations for yourself to try to get your ADHD. Jumping ahead, we're still talking about what it looks like in a woman, in the woman who is not the hyperactive little boy. But yes, forgetfulness, being emotionally overwhelmed, rejection sensitivity, sensitive to rejection, daydreaming and zoning out. That was me. Definitely was a daydreamer growing up, looking back, but just did not realize that it was ADHD until I realized that I wasn't doing so well in school. Well, actually, I didn't even realize it was ADHD when I was not doing well in school. I just decided that I wasn't going to continue on the pre med path. Most of you know that story. So, if you're disorganized chronically, forgetful, emotionally overwhelmed, impulsive, daydreamer, zoning out, like, huh, what? Wait, maybe there's a misdiagnosis. Maybe there's anxiety because there is a lot of overlap. I mean, if you have a lot of anxiety and overthinking and excessive worries, sure, you're disorganized and you're not concentrating. You have lack of focus and lack of attention because you're so focused on your anxiety and your worries, but it could be ADHD. When you're not worried and when you're not anxious, are you still forgetful and disorganized and emotionally overwhelmed and daydreaming? Or when you're not anxious, you're doing just fine. If when you're not anxious, you're doing just fine, maybe it's just anxiety. If when you're not anxious, the symptoms persist, maybe it is ADHD. Same with depression. Depression can cause lack of concentration. If you're too busy thinking about ruminating, perseverating, yes, about your problems and negative thoughts and spiraling down a slippery slope towards deep negative thoughts getting worse and worse, then that could be depression. But it's often overlooked in many women who are actually misdiagnosed with anxiety and depression. And maybe it's not anxiety and depression. Maybe it is ADHD. We're talking about ADHD in women as well as social media stress. So the digital overload, ugh, still on the fire, just making the fire worse. My story about social media, I just okay, yes, I'm on social media for business, but I just can't be on it like that because it definitely does make ADHD worse. The distractions, the notifications. And I used to be like, "Oh man, I have to see this." And sorry, friends, you know who you are. Because I have a few friends who always send me reels, and I do love the reels. I think that's a problem. I look at the reels and I'm like, "Oh, it's so funny." So then it makes me look at another reel and then another reel. So then I'm like, well, what was I doing? And then it gets to the point where if I see a notification, this friend sent you a reel, then I feel obligated to look at that reel when I'm supposed to be doing something else. I may pick up my phone to look at an email, to send out a text or send out an email. And then, oh, there's Instagram telling me that someone sent me a reel. And I'm like, oh, and then I get distracted. It's so easy. But now I just swipe it away. Imagine that. Swiping that notification away and not clicking on it. Sorry, friends who send me reels, and I don't look at the reels that you send me. But guess what? I do end up looking at them. Because actually recently I sent my friend the reel and I was looking, I was like, oh, she sent me like 10 reels in a row. So I looked at them in a row and I commented and responded. And I was like, thank you for sending me these funny reels. And then that was it. But I don't have to look at it right when she sends them. But it just feels like an obligation in this digital world where you're getting notification after notification. And it's stressful, especially for the ADHD woman or the ADHD person. But we're talking about women who are already overwhelmed and disorganized and has a lot of things that you have to do, a lot of things on your plate, a lot of roles to manage. And then now the social media is at play. If your phone's not on do not disturb, you have all these notifications. And my pet peeve is are non-responders. So because my pet peeve are non-responders, it means I respond readily. So then when I see notifications, I feel like I need to respond. Something I need to work on so that I won't stress out about needing to respond. So yeah, I mean, today's world in general, just this digital overload literally hijacks your attention. And you're constantly scrolling and don't realize that that's what you're doing. Multitasking is huge too. A lot of us are on social media while driving, not cool. ADHD brain already craves stimulation. So this endlessly feeds our dopamine and gives us dopamine and stimulation. We're constantly looking at these reels, constantly getting notifications, and constantly feeling like we have to respond to everything on social media. But it worsens our focus. It worsens memory issues because you're just like, whoa, wait, what was I doing? Okay, now I've been scrolling this down this rabbit hole. I don't even remember what I was doing. So it definitely worsens your focus. And it could actually increase negative thoughts because now you're comparing yourself to other people that you see on social media. So then now you're in this whole spiral of shame all of a sudden, emotional dysregulation, stress, irritability. You can get irritable and easily stressed anyway with ADHD. So then add social media or digital overload, and that's adding to that emotional dysregulation. And again, juggling multiple roles, like mom, bosses, that's just creates more compounded stress when it comes to social media. So for me, yes, I'm on it for my business, but I'm on it to post and I try my best not to scroll. And honestly, my husband was the social media king, but he decided to fast from social media for the whole year of 2025. And I kind of felt the pressure to post on my personal page more often because I was like, well, he's not posting. So now I have to post when our family goes out. Why? Why? Why do I feel like I have to post? That doesn't make sense. Before social media, we didn't care about posting what we're doing. I don't know, because we're cute and we want to show the world. But at the end of the day, no, it's not a force. So undoing your thoughts about social media and why you have to be on there and why you have to post. So I realized, oh wait, no, just because he's not on social media for a year doesn't mean I have to be. So basically, I just get on there for business purposes. There is definitely a spiral between ADHD, anxiety, and burnout. A lot of my patients say that their anxiety leads to ADHD symptoms, kind of what I was describing before, because they get anxious and not paying attention because they're already anxious and worried. So then that leads to ADHD symptoms. And then ADHD symptoms leads back to more anxiety because you have the disorganization and forgetfulness. So now your anxiety is worse because now you're procrastinating and can't get ahead of tasks. So then it's just endless spiral. So I'm constantly trying to figure out chicken or the egg, what came first? Did ADHD lead to the anxiety because of your lack of attention and lack of focus? Leading to procrastination and now you're anxious because you weren't able to finish? Or is it your anxiety that led to the ADHD type symptoms? Overwhelm certainly leads to anxiety. I can't keep up. I'm falling behind. ADHD makes you feel like you're falling behind and that you can't keep up. Anxiety creates avoidance, of course. Anxiety creates perfectionism. And of course, all of that leads to burnout. I just talked about joy versus being perfect a few weeks ago, they really aren't the same. You can't have both. You can't be perfect plus experience joy. So you have to choose one or the other. And anxiety definitely makes you feel like you have to be perfect, not ready to hit send, not ready to hit publish. And so you're so focused on that thing being perfect or the well, yeah, I guess it's the sound say the other way around, avoiding. But if you're trying to make sure something's perfect, you're avoiding completing that task. So anxiety creating avoidance and perfection definitely leads to burnout. And that all could be wrapped up with ADHD as well. So if you throw in stress, overwhelm, multiple roles, burnout, that definitely intensifies the ADHD symptoms. You're already anxious, you're already stressed out, you already have ADHD, then you throw in burnout too. That's more distraction, more forgetfulness, more fatigue. So if you're looking at yourself right now and you're like, okay, I'm forgetful, chronically disorganized, I'm stressed, I'm burnt out, I'm procrastinating, I'm not doing well at work, I'm impulsive, definitely there's something wrong. What can you do to come out of that hole? Because the cycle keeps repeating unless it's interrupted with awareness and strategies. Just first being aware that something's wrong and being okay, the fact that there is something wrong. It's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to ask for help. Because when you are not asking for help, that definitely leads to burnout. So this is why ADHD is often hidden in women because it just looks like stress or just anxiety, and we don't realize it's actually ADHD. So if you have anxiety, it's a good thing to get evaluated for ADHD as well. Definitely find the right person because let's face it, some of these docs just throwing stuff. And I know for me, I definitely spend a lot of time focused on what exactly is it? Is it anxiety? Is it ADHD? Is it just stress? I mean, is it even clinical? Because stress is not necessarily at the clinical level. Clinical level where you really need therapy and medication is ADHD, anxiety, depression. So just trying to help someone figure out, do you just need a little bit of coaching? Do you just need a little bit of strategies versus do you need medication and therapy or either or? By the time I put you on medication, you definitely should do therapy. I don't believe in just medication. But it's definitely important. I've talked about before the mom brain. Oh my goodness. The mom brain in and of itself can look like ADHD. Again, go back to episode 97, talks most about that. But just being too busy, having all these things to do, the digital overload, I mean, cultural pressure to hold it together. I mean, that all masks ADHD patterns in and of itself. And, the cycle between the anxiety and the stress, the burnout, the ADHD leads women to blame themselves instead of actually recognizing the neurodivergence. ADHD is neurodivergent. It's okay. I mean, nobody's normal. Somebody was just talking about that today. What is normal? But it's all right. So what can we do? Do we need some digital boundaries? Can we just turn off the push notifications? Do I really need to see when my a YouTube subscriber has published a video? Do I really need to look at this reel right now that my friend just sent me? Can I turn my Instagram on silent? Can I turn my phone on do not disturb? I just started turning my phone on do not disturb when I'm running because it came to a point where I was reading text messages, responding to text messages while running. And I'm like, well, I'm running, I'm having a good time. Sure, I can look at my phone and respond to text messages. But then I'm like, well, wait, ADHD, running is my zen and my therapy. So this is messing that self care up. So the last couple of long runs, I turned off my notifications. I turned my phone on do not disturb, which is weird because my watch still notifies me. So I need to put my watch on do not disturb. But yes, just having the boundaries around that, setting timers that can help you with remembering things, writing things down. Although I was keeping an agenda and writing things down, I do write things down on my phone. I keep an app. I do have several notepads. I have too many notepads because then I start to lose, and that's another thing. Stick to one notepad or have it color coded, which notepad is for what. I have certain color notepad for work and a certain color notepad for my business and for other organizations. That can be helpful. But there are days when I don't even use a notepad. So I'm just like, okay, let me do this right away before I forget. And that can get stressful when you feel like you have to do it right now and you're forgetting. So you have to come up with a method. Um, having a no phone zone can be helpful, right? So like instead of eating while scrolling on your phone, it's maybe it's a no phone meal. Maybe you don't have the phone in the bedroom. Maybe your morning routine is to not look directly at your phone. I've been doing that less and less. I notice I have notifications, but I like put my phone down. I'm not looking at the notifications until I get up, I am awake, meditate, get the kids ready. Because when I'm trying to focus on something on my phone, but also the kids are interrupting me, that creates stress. So knowing when to multitask and when not to multitask. So single tasking is important because as women, high achieving women, we're so used to multitasking that we have to do more than one thing at the same time. Do you really have to do that? It's okay to single task. What is single tasking? Have you even used that in your vocabulary? A patient of mine told me about Pomodoro method. I hadn't heard about it. I have to look it up, but it can help you time to focus this 25-minute segment. I'm going to focus for 25 minutes and do this work, this assignment, whatever it is you have to do. And then it helps you say, okay, this is my 5-minute break. You don't have to be a kid or a teen to do that. Adults need that too. Keeping one tab open at a time, one task on your desk at a time. Honestly, my private practice has its own Chrome, Google account, and then my main job has its own Chrome, Google account, and then other things do. So I do constantly have open different Google accounts, but I think that helps me stay organized. But limiting the amount of tasks that you have or tabs that you have open can help with limiting distractions and being able to increase focus. Body brain breaks. Move, 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 move. Exercise. And again, when you're exercising, not being distracted by your phone and notifications. So having a 60, 90-minute reset focus, ooh, that's good. Keeping your body active for at least 30 minutes, 60 minutes if you can. 90 minutes would be really amazing. And maybe if scrolling interrupts your work, maybe the scrolling is paired with a body brain break. Maybe you are pairing it with stretching or pairing it with hydrating. If you're consistently getting distracted during your self care routine, maybe you should limit that. But if you do like scrolling, we can make the scrolling more productive by pairing it with a physical break, like stretching or hydrating or getting some sun so that you're not just like mindlessly doing nothing. But then ask yourself, why are you scrolling? You have to. Maybe it's a part of your job, but break the cycle. Notice when overwhelm can lead to anxiety, and that anxiety can lead to avoidance, and that avoidance leads to burnout. And notice that that cycle is happening. And where is ADHD in that, if it's in that? And just break that cycle. If we can interrupt these cycles, interrupt this pattern with small resets like breathing, moving, stepping away from the screen, then we are no longer leading down that slippery slope that's spiraling out of control into severe anxiety breakdown mode. But give yourself self compassion while you're going through this, self grace. The brain is just wiring. It's not failing. There's nothing wrong with you. Being neurodivergent isn't a terrible thing. It's just who you are. It's just ADHD, but it can be treated. If symptoms persist, you can get help. It is okay to talk to a professional about ADHD and get evaluated and get treatment. Therapy, it's normal to get therapy. It's okay to get therapy. It's okay to learn coping strategies to deal with your stress, anxiety, burnout, and ADHD, behavioral modifications, organizational techniques, whatever necessary. Medication, I talk a lot about medication in one of those other ADHD episodes. Go find it. But these tools are tools: therapy, coaching, medication. It's not weakness. And it is okay to get them and see what's going on and try to get the strategy so that you can be a better you. All of this is about prioritizing you and being a better you. So just remember, it can be overlooked, especially in you, especially if you're thinking it's just stress. It could actually be ADHD, and that being overloaded by this digital culture in society can definitely intensify your ADHD. And so watching that and breaking the ADHD anxiety burnout cycle, that's real. So real. Awareness, boundaries, compassion equals empowerment. You can do this. So this week, try one small step to reclaim your attention. What's that going to be? How are you going to reclaim your attention? Are you going to put your phone in do not disturb? Are you going to single task instead of multitask? Are you going to take a mental reset? Are you going to write something down on the list and go back to it? Whether it's being phone free meal or using a timer for focus, share your wins with me. What is it that you are going to do and what did you do to help limit your ADHD? Thank you for listening. This has been an Enjoy Life production. If you're in a crisis, don't hesitate. Call, text, or chat 988 for immediate support. Please note, this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional treatment. If you're looking for therapy or medication management through Enjoy Life, visit www.drenjoylife.com to request a consultation. I'm licensed in 12 states. I accept Aetna in Georgia, Florida, and Virginia. Be sure to grab your copy of the Enjoy Note to help you on your wellness journey. Also check out Inspired Joy for the wife, mom, boss to help you balance it all without losing yourself. Better yet, get the full Joy bundle for just $45. Remember, Journey to Joy Live is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, may you continue to transform stress into joy.